first hour, second hour, third hour, but how to say 0th hour? E.g. in school we have 5 to 7 or 8 hours every day, math, history, biology, chemistry, English etc. The first hour starts at 8 a.m. But every Thursday we have an hour that starts at 7:10 a.m. In Czech language we call it nulta hodina, which is something like 0-ish hour. And then first, second and third, první, druhá, třetí hodina. How is nulta hodina, the hour that is before the first hour, called in English? And how do you write it, shortly? As 0th? Or somehow else?
You already had the answer, it's zeroth. I think you'll find that th is a modestly productive suffix in English for indicating ordinals other than first, second, and third. For example, consider the nth element in a series, or the ith and jth indices of two-dimensional matrix. You can even find epsilon th if you look hard enough. But that one's rare, zeroth is not. The OED defines zeroth as coming next in a series before the one conventionally regarded as the first. Its first citation is from the 19th century. So the two series work out to be
In English, most people would not recognize the term zeroth. Ordinal numbers start at first. Any other starting point is either a neologism or jocular. For the hour before the first hour, well, that just means what you're calling the first hour is mislabeled and should instead be labeled the second hour. The case you gave is interesting, where it is an exception to the schedule for one day to have an additional hour before the hour labeled first. To call it the 0th hour would be strange, perfectly recognizable and used by any math geek, but there it is. But then what is the hour that comes before that? There is no word for it that is generally recognizable in English, so some other locution would be used, like the early morning hours or a special early class or something relevant to its function. Consider this century. In English, it is referred to as the 21st century, even though it starts with 20. That's because if you count backwards to the start of the Christian time labeling, the first years marking from when Jesus Christ was supposed to be born is called the first centuries, but isn't the years 101 to 200 but rather 1 through 100. Czech may do it differently, but this is how it is done in English.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.